The moment you speak your plan out loud, you've already lost half the battle. Somewhere right now, someone is telling their enemy exactly what they're about to do, dressed up as excitement, as trust, as pride. They call it sharing. Nietzsche would call it suicide. Because the world doesn't reward the loudest intention. It rewards the silent execution. And the man who cannot keep his own secret has already handed his power to whoever is listening. Think about the last time you told someone your plan before it happened, the new business, the way you were finally going to leave, the person you were going to confront, the transformation you swore you'd make this year. You felt lighter the moment the words left your mouth, didn't you? That relief, that release, you mistook it for progress. But Nietzsche saw through that trick centuries ago. He understood that the mind confuses talking about a thing with doing it. The tongue moves, and something in you feels satisfied, as if the work is already finished. And so the fire that should have gone into action gets spent on applause you didn't even need. This is the first dark truth. Speaking your plans too early doesn't build momentum. It kills it. Every word you speak about an unfinished intention drains the tension that was supposed to fuel your discipline. You were meant to feel that hunger, that itch, that unbearable need to prove something. But instead, you let it leak out in conversation, in social media captions, in casual bragging to people who were never going to help you carry the weight. Anyway, and here is where it turns dangerous. Because it's not only about losing your own drive, it's about what you give away to everyone else the moment you speak. Nietzsche understood something brutal about human nature, that most people are not moved by your dreams. They are threatened by them. When you announce your plan, you are not just sharing information. You are handing out a weapon and trusting strangers, co-workers, even family, to never use it against you. Some will smile at you and mean it. But some, quietly, almost without realizing it themselves, will begin to resent you. Not because they hate you, but because your plan is a mirror. It shows them everything they haven't done, every excuse they've been living inside, and nothing exposes comfortable people faster than watching someone else decide to stop being comfortable. So they don't attack you directly, they undermine you softly. A joke here, a just being realistic comment there. A slow drip of doubt disguised as concern, and before you've taken a single real step, your own confidence has already been quietly poisoned by people who were never on your side to begin with. This is why Nietzsche warned against exposing your becoming. He believed a person in the middle of transformation is at their most fragile, not because they are weak, but because they are unfinished. An unfinished thing can still be shaped by outside pressure. It can still be talked out of itself, but a finished thing, a completed action, a result already standing in the world that cannot be argued with, that cannot be mocked away. It simply exists. And nothing threatens the doubters more than a result they didn't see coming. Here's the twist most people never expect. Silence is not about secrecy for its own sake. It's about protecting your energy from a world that feeds on unfinished intentions. Every time you explain yourself before you're ready, you spend a piece of the strength that was meant for the work itself. Discipline requires internal pressure, and internal pressure needs a sealed container. The moment you open your mouth and let the plan spill out, you break the seal, the pressure escapes, and so does your edge. Think of every person you've ever seen announce a huge transformation, a new gym routine, a new business, a new version of themselves, and disappear a month later. It's not because they were lying, it's because they gave away the emotional charge before they ever did the work. The praise came too early. The identity came too early. They got to feel like the person they wanted to become without ever becoming them. Now think of the opposite. Think of the person who quietly changed everything and only told you after it was already real. That silence wasn't arrogance. That silence was armor. Nietzsche believed real strength doesn't need an audience to confirm it exists. It confirms itself in private, through repetition, through discomfort, through the invisible war no one claps for. But there's a deeper layer beneath all of this, and it's the part people rarely talk about. Revealing your plans too soon isn't just dangerous because of other people. It's dangerous because of what it does to your relationship with yourself. When you speak your intention out loud before it's real, you create a false self, a version of you that exists only in words. And some part of you starts to believe that version is already true. You begin performing the identity instead of building it. You start defending a story instead of doing the work that would make the story unnecessary to defend. This is the trap. You are no longer moving forward because you want to grow. You are moving forward because you're terrified of being seen as someone who failed to deliver on what they announced. And that is not discipline. That is fear wearing the mask of ambition. Nietzsche's entire philosophy warned against living for the eyes of others, against becoming a reactive creature shaped by approval, allergic to disappointing an audience. It never needed in the first place, so what does real strength look like instead? It looks like silence that unsettles people. It looks like calm that makes others nervous because they can't read your next move. It looks like disappearing for a while and coming back different, without an explanation, without a speech, without needing anyone's permission to have changed. It looks like doing the work in the dark, where no one can steal your motivation, mock your effort, or plant doubt into your foundation before it's even set. This is the brutal lesson hidden inside. Nietzsche's warning: your plans are not entertainment for other people, they are ammunition for your own becoming. The second you turn them into a performance, you weaken them. The second you protect them in silence, you sharpen them. Power has never come from being understood. It has come from being unpredictable, from making your moves before anyone even realized you were capable of moving at all. And here is the final twist, the one most people never see coming until it's too late. The people who ask you the most questions about your plans are rarely the ones who want you to succeed. Watch closely. Watch who asks with excitement, and watch who asks with a strange, subtle pressure, as if they're testing whether you're serious, hoping just a little that you're not. Not because they're evil, but because your growth reminds them of their own stillness. And stillness protects itself by pulling others back down into it. This is why the wise stay quiet, not out of arrogance and not out of fear, but out of respect for the fragile, sacred process of becoming. Let your actions be the announcement. Let your results be the explanation. Let your silence be so complete that when the change finally reveals itself, no one can say they saw it coming, and no one can say they had any part in stopping it, because in the end, this is the dark, unshakable truth Nietzsche left behind for those willing to listen. The world does not fear your dreams, it fears your discipline. It does not fear your words, it fears your silence. And the moment you learn to protect your plans the way a warrior protects his blade, never revealing it until the exact moment it strikes, you become someone the world can no longer predict, doubt, or disarm. Speak less, become more. And let your life be the only announcement you ever need to make.